Hey, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of my experimental podcast with my good friend, Derrick. And I think this might be his first podcast experience as a guest. I don't know. Is it, Derrick?
It sure is. I gotta put on my interview persona.
Yes. So, my main reason for starting this is one, it's on my bucket list. Two, I think it's just a good skill to have to be an interviewer and an interviewee. And three, to build upon my brand that I hope takes off one day to help lots of people and feelings of things in life. So this is the first season of the Tentative podcast name. This is just for fun. I'm not sure if this is going to be a real name, but it's called Funeral Factory. A first experiment. Or
I like that.
Right? Funeral Factory or a factory funeral. But I think Funeral Factory makes more sense. And
yeah, it does.
Right? If you know the exercises, so Funeral Factory makes more sense.
Yeah.
Brief description. It's an experimental podcast exploring the relationship between first principles philosophy and the meaning of life. Specifically, the guest, the life of the guest, not in general. So, a little framework. I'm going to introduce my guests. We're going to go through some questions. We're going to do some exercise, and then we're just going to wrap it all up. Probably 30 minutes max. We'll see.
Sounds good.
All right. So let me introduce everybody officially to Derrick Kim. And I ask all my guests to give me a brief description of who they are and how they want me to introduce them. And all he said was that he is human. That Derrick Kim's intro is that he is human. So
I think that's a suitable intro for a first principles podcast.
Awesome. This sounds good. All right. So first questions are pretty light. It's just to get to know you from a different perspective. And the question is, the first of two is, what would you name your podcast and what would it be about?
What would I name my podcast?
And what would it be about?
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Myself. And it would be meeting myself. Very professional, Vince. All right.
It's called myself and it would be about meeting myself?
Yes.
All right. That's good. That's kind of like what mine's about. All right.
Yeah, it's similar.
Okay. But then that's just the name. So the guests would be about meeting themselves, not you meeting yourself. You, Derrick, meeting yourself.
No. It would be specifically about Derrick meeting himself. This is serious stuff, man.
Wait, so would you have any guests on, or would you just be talking by yourself, monologue?
No. No, get this. So, yeah, there would be guests. They would be people that have met me. So, I mean, it could range from someone that I've encountered once on the street,
yeah,
or anywhere else, or to friends, family members. So it'll be a wide range of people.
Okay. Oh, that's actually really interesting.
Yeah, and I might even expand it to strangers who would meet me for the first time on the podcast as a guest.
Ooh, that's a really cool idea. You should.
Yeah. So the concept, yeah. Go on.
You should do that. Just
no.
Do it. Start with your friends and your family.
You do it. Do it for me.
I'm not interested in getting to know myself. I'm doing the opposite. I want to get to know others, and I want to help them get to know themselves.
Right.
All right. Well, I might steal some of your ideas into this one.
Yeah. If there's anything that you think might be interesting, All right. So yeah, that's what it would be about. That's what it would be called.
All right. So it's Derrick Kim's podcast would be called Myself, and it's about meeting himself with guests, with the help of guests somehow.
Yeah. So the basic idea is that there exists many versions of you in the context of a community.
Yes. Makes sense.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
Makes sense to me.
So kind of exploring like three parts: who you think you are, for one; two, how you present yourself consciously or unconsciously; and three would be others' perceptions of you. So these are all different versions of you within a society or a community that you may or may not be aware of.
Very nice. Very nice. I want to remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's awesome. Huh.
that's that.
All right. Well, closely related. Next question.
Sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Oh, I said, all right. Closely related. Next question is who
Okay,
are
next
the
one.
top 3 guests you'd want?
My 3 guests.
Yeah. Who would be your top 3 guests?
I would start off with an acquaintance, a close friend, and then a family member, so that I can get a pretty wide range of guests.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, with the way you have yours, someone knowing you would be a lot more interested than some random stranger. I think.
It would be interesting to see what they all think. Like what's the first what's the first impression I give off, right? And that may differ between each individual too. So.
Okay. I mean, maybe I can.
Like, am I consistent?
Yeah.
Are people's perceptions consistent? I mean, there's a lot of questions that could be answered there.
Yeah. Huh. Maybe I can dig in a little bit. Is there somebody? Can you describe like somebody specific? You don't need to name them. You can just describe them. Of maybe one of each. One of each.
Sorry, I missed the first part. Describe who?
Describe one of each of those guests, or those categories of guests. Describe someone you have in mind specifically, if anybody.
Okay, so for the acquaintance, it could be.
You don't have to use any names.
Maybe so. Okay.
Yeah.
It could be someone I met. In college, right? They didn't exactly become a friend over time, but it's someone that I did meet in my lifetime and lost touch with, so I can call them in. Close friend, you could be on it. Family member. I mean, even within family member, I could be like an immediate family member, a distant family member. So I think even there's a lot of different perspectives. But to start, I would do a close member, like my sister.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds fun. That sounds really fun. Maybe maybe that could be season 2 or something if this keeps going. Season 2, I will have a Derrick series where I would host him, hosting others.
That would be funny.
I'll basically be like a administrator, the moderator or something, and then I'll just make it happen. Just it'll only be 3 episodes. 3 episodes. That's it. 3 short episodes.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me? Hello, hello? Hello, hello?
You cut out for like 30 seconds there.
Oh, weird. I was just saying it'd only be like 3 short episodes for the Derrick series.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll consider that. Let's jump into the next thing. So here's when it gets a little juicy. I guess I should have explained what first principles was at the get-go, but it's basically the concept that when you reduce something to its most basic element. So another simple way to look at it is like, what is the core? What is the core of something? And then the funeral factory is called that because there's 2 exercises that help you get to that core of yourself. One is, the way I like to look at it is one is like a gut check to see if you're being yourself. And then the other one is a compass to help show you what is it that you care about and who you care about, which in a way basically shows who you are, and it can help you get to figuring out yourself. I mean,
Did you say seeing yourself or being yourself?
both.
Okay.
Yeah. So factory exercise is to see how well you're being who you really are, and then the funeral one is to see who you are.
Okay.
So the first one is a factory exercise. So this one, the purpose is to see how well you're living your life the way you want to, I guess. And most people go through life never thinking about these things. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just interesting to really dig into it. So the exercise is simple. You don't work in a factory, but imagine you did. And if you died in a factory explosion today, would you be satisfied with how you left the world? So why or why not? And then 2, you can provide your own parameters and definitions for what satisfied means, or we can do it together. And
Okay.
the idea here is to see if you're living mindfully in the present and being true to yourself. And one last note, this is not to be confused with how would you live your last day on earth. That is not the question. That question is unrealistic and impractical. So this is, if you passed away right now, would you be satisfied with how you left the world?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All yours.
Well, after thinking about it, initially I felt that I would be, but ultimately I don't think I would be satisfied, because I think I would wish that I had helped more people. And I'm not exactly sure what that means, because I mean that could mean like helping people in my daily life, or helping people that I encounter in my daily life, or going beyond that and helping people, in say like third world countries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or within my own community. So when I say help people, I guess more desperate people in need,
Mm-hmm.
because, well, no, my definition is more, it's all inclusive. Like if a friend needs a help with a flat tire, like I'll jump on it, no questions asked, right? That would be helping someone. So in that sense, I think I am satisfied. I would be willing to help my friends anytime, any day. But as far as like helping the greater community or the world, yeah, I definitely would not be satisfied. I think
Mm-hmm.
I live pretty selfishly, to take care of my own life, my own family and friends, day in, day out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's just the reality. I'm just looking at it for what it is. It's not exactly how I would like it to be, but I mean, it's a hard thing to do,
It is. It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. I don't even know my answer, to be honest.
Yeah, because I could say I'm busy all day long, but like if I have a passion and a purpose, it shouldn't matter.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tricky question. There's no right or wrong answer, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think intellectually the answer is simple. As far as like what you should do, how you should live, based on what your I guess beliefs and purposes are, but it's not that easy, because there are other things involved, like your emotions and selfishness, laziness, all this stuff. So
yeah,
it's a fight.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the right answer. I don't know. Like, I don't even know if there is an answer. Maybe it's just a series of actions or a
Yeah.
lifestyle. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see, like, to get some yeses. Because my initial answer would also be no, a lot for the same reasons. Like, I haven't done enough, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
But maybe someone might come on and says, I try every day to be a little better, and that to me makes me satisfied with how I left the world. But we'll see.
Mhm.
We'll see. We'll get some of our mutual friends on here and see what they say. Yeah. Cool. So, okay, Derrick Kim would not be satisfied with how he left the world today because he feels like he could do more to help the world and to give and to live less selfishly. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Well, so that might have answered some of the next questions or the next exercise, but let's see. So this is the funeral exercise. Factory exercise followed by the funeral exercise. That's why this podcast is tentatively called Funeral Factory. So here we go. At your funeral, who would you envision being there? And what would they say about you? And the idea here is that the people you envision being there are those you care most about, and what they say about you is what you care most about. All yours.
Let's see. Well, it would have to be close family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
And the second question was,
What would they say about you if they were giving a eulogy? I think that's what it's called. Like, would there be a theme, or would some people say specific things? Feel free to give some examples too.
what I think they would say or what I would hope they would say?
What you would hope they would say.
What I would hope.
Yes.
I would hope they would say that I was compassionate, understanding, and silly.
Nice. All right. All right. So, I mean, how many people do you think would be there? Like friends and family? Are we looking at like the tightest friends and family, handful of people, or are you thinking like bigger groups?
I would imagine about the same number of people and the people that were at my wedding. So family would definitely be there, and all my family is in Southern California, so
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't really have an excuse to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they would want to be there. But,
I mean, it's just theoretical. So, like, it doesn't matter what they want or how far they are. Like, who would you want to be there? Who would you envision being there?
oh, who would I want?
Yeah, basically, who would you want? Like, I mean, if the idea is just to show who you care for, and
Oh,
that would
okay.
be there means you care for them. I hope, unless you're like looking for vengeance or something.
No. It would just definitely just be my close circle of friends. So it'd be like two handfuls, maybe like 10 people. As far as friends go, and then family, my immediate family, and then my aunts and uncles, as well as like my cousins. So
Mm-hmm.
in total, I don't know, 30, no, 40 people, maybe 40.
Very nice. Do you think they would? You want them all to say the same thing, that you've been compassionate and I forgot the second one. The last one was silly. Compassionate, kind, and silly. Can you hear me? Hello, hello.
You cut out again for like about 30 seconds.
Got it. Got
Would
it.
I want them to all say the same thing? Yes.
Wow. All right. That's
I'm,
interesting.
I'm, What else is there to say? Those are the only things that really matter to me. So
All right. I like that. Very straightforward. So Derrick Kim would like to see his family, his immediate friends, roughly 40 people total, and he would want them all to say the same thing, which is that you are compassionate, kind, I think it was, and silly.
you cut out again.
Oh, I was saying, so you would want them to say that you were compassionate, kind, and silly.
No, compassionate, understanding.
Oh,
And
that's
silly.
funny.
Yeah.
Compassionate, understanding, and silly. All right. So I guess, like, how does that tie into the factory exercise? I mean, I'm pretty sure, well, because I know you so well, I'm pretty sure everyone's going to say you're compassionate, compassionate, understanding, and silly right now.
Mm-hmm.
But for you yourself, you want to give more. And that in itself is compassion already.
Yeah. Well, because the question was about how I left the world, so it's on a larger. It feels like it's on a larger scale.
Mm-hmm. It is. I mean, if you have grand visions of helping the world, then yeah.
Yeah. So on that level, I mean, I can't be satisfied.
Got it. Awesome. Okay. Well, those are the two exercises. Pretty straightforward. I don't want to dig too deep into it and get overly philosophical.
Mm.
So I'd leave it at that. And then basically, do you think this is an effective way to discover your current life purpose? And I use current because I personally believe people change throughout their lives and the things that they care about changes with them. I mean, you're one of the most consistent people I know. So for you, maybe not. But I think for a lot of other people, I feel like this could be an effective way for them to just realign themselves. Doing these
Yeah,
like
I
what do you,
agree.
yeah?
I missed the last part. You cut out.
I was just saying, um, what do you think? Really, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I heard you say I agree.
Yeah. I agree that people change, and what they care about changes along with them too. Like, I think that's pretty generally true. Yeah.
Nice. So, do you think these exercises are effective to helping people realign or discover their life purpose?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like you mentioned before, I don't think people think about these things very often. Usually when, maybe a tragedy occurs,
Mm-hmm.
um, or when you're asked, I guess you would think about these questions. But yeah, I think most people find it uncomfortable, and they spend their time distracting themselves from it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I definitely think it's a great way to realign yourself and discover yourself.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I agree. I completely agree. I agree with what you said too. That it's scary. It could be really scary for someone to, you know, it does. I guess at some degree, it takes a lot of courage to really think about these things.
Yeah, because I mean, depending on what you discover, it may. I mean, what you discover may ask you to change the course of your life, and that's also a very scary thing.
Mhm.
Big changes.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully, if we decide to publish this podcast, your answers will inspire the world, and your journey and mission of giving compassion and giving back will spread further out there.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, last question to wrap it up. This one is stolen straight from Tim Ferriss, and he stole it from someone else. I don't remember who, but if you could put something on a billboard that millions of people would see every day driving by and at some major city in the world, or maybe every city in the world, what would you say? What would you have it say?
A billboard, huh?
It could be a video billboard. It could be a static poster, whatever you want. Whatever's realistic out there in the world right now. And they're pretty cool right now.
I would keep it pretty simple. I would just say love each other, period.
Look at that. Very nice. All right. Well, thank you, Derrick, for being very first guest on the Funeral Factory, a first principles experiment. And yeah, good luck with life.
See you in a few days.
Yes, I'll see you in a few days.